Welcome to this video on how to manage your virtual assistant and create systems that they can follow. Now this video is a really important one, and it's one every person looking for a Filipino VA should take some time with, as we want to make sure at Virtual Staff that our clients succeed with a virtual assistant. Now we've been doing this for over 8 years. We've been hiring, we've been learning, we've been seeing what works and what doesn't. And we've come across a tool called Trello that we recommend. Now other tools will work in a similar way, but this is the tool from months and months and months of practice we've decided is the best for working with a virtual assistant. And we use it for a lot of other parts of our business as well. But in today's video, I want to teach you a little bit about how this tool works and how we suggest you use it with a virtual assistant and to create the tasks you need to complete. Now when we first started out, we started doing everything through spreadsheets, and we found spreadsheets were a great way to get started. The challenge with spreadsheets is that they are harder to interact with, to place comments on, to create more complex trainings, and also you can't create checklists in the same way. So from that learning, we took everything we'd built and we moved it to a tool called Trello. Now Trello has a free option, which is a simple version which works perfectly for a virtual assistant. And we've created what we call the My VA dashboard. Now Trello is designed to be what's called Kanban. So it involves these little cards that sit on big lists. And these cards can be moved as required by any member of that board. So as we're looking at this, you can see we've got a variety of different lists, and we've also got one card. And this is an example card that we've created a training on for VAs. On the left here, we've got to learn, we've then got learning, and then we have 3 boxes: daily, weekly, monthly. Now as you can see, this can be edited to your personal systems if you've got 6 monthly tasks or annual tasks. But the benefit of it is that it can be very easily used by a virtual assistant, and it puts everything in one place for both an employer and a VA to work from. It comes with a fantastic mobile app that's very flexible and allows you to run your virtual assistant from one app on your phone, which is really beneficial. We standardly use it in league with a tool called WhatsApp. You may have that and use it with friends. It's also another great tool for working with assistants. But in this video, I want to teach you about how do you start putting together some training. So when your assistant starts, they don't start with a blank sheet. And that's very, very important. So what we've done here is we use what are called cards to create learning points. Now a card, and I will go into this, starts in the to learn box. So when an assistant starts, they may have a bunch of small cards, maybe 1 to 10, that they need to learn. And these are usually tasks that are repeated. That's what you want to start with a VA, is what are the base tasks you want them to dig in and start using. Now when the VA starts, you can prioritize these tasks using things called labels. Labels can be created under the edit screen, and they can be put to be whatever you want. So you can say call one priority, and it can be a red label that you click on, and that makes this card your priority. So when they start, they're very clear on what the expectation is. It's very hard when you're a virtual assistant to just be thrown into a business and not know what is actually the priority of their employer. So this can be very helpful. Once they start, they can take on this card, they can move it into the learning box so you know that they're spending time learning it, because as you know with learning, it can take a few days for certain things, it can take a couple of hours for other things, and certain things are more of a continuous learning process. Once they feel they know or they understand something, they can move it into a daily, a weekly, monthly task, or one of the other lists that you've created for them based on your current model. So the great thing is you know that they feel up to scratch, and the great thing as well is they can come back to that learning when they need to apply one of these tasks. So to start with, I'm going to open this card. So we've created this card. It's a little simple training on how to use a tool called Canva, which is fantastic for VAs who are admin driven, but you want them to also create some simple social media graphics or simple design tasks. So we would open this task. Now, each card up here has a title. It's important to make this an explainable title of what it is, and this can change. It's got the labels attached, and you can have different label categories depending on how you want to set your business up. The simplest version's priority, not as important, or when you have time. It's great to throw a few when you have time tasks in that aren't really that important, but they could be things to learn or similar tasks. As we go down, in this one we've created what is Canva. It's very important with a VA to explain why and what they're doing because it's very easy to throw tasks at a VA without them understanding why they're doing them. If you can explain what something is or why it's being done for the business, that can be beneficial. In this case, it's a what, as it's a piece of software we're teaching on. We also pop in an expected time to learn. It's very hard sometimes with this because a tool like this can take a period of time. Like we would expect about 20 hours to get a feel for the software, but it could take 1 to 3 months of regular use to really get your eye in for this visual software. Now below this, we've created a video training. Now in this video training, it can be played in the Trello card and the person can actually watch it. Now you can do multiple videos for a task if you choose to, or just one. It's great if you've got some simple repetitive weekly tasks you just need a simple video for, and that training's done. The great point about this is you don't get asked the same questions again and again. Now I will show you how to use a little bit more about this software soon, but just note that I've created this video in about 5 minutes. So hopefully that makes you feel good that it's not going to be a long process. Now we've added a graphic as what's called a cover to make it visible on the top. We've also added an image of what Canva's screen looks like as well, so it can have attachments. If your task has PDFs or specific items that they require, you can pop it in the attachment area. Now, as you go forward down, you've also got checklists. Now, a checklist on the right up the top here can be added by clicking checklist, and that will add a checklist in with a title of your description. We've added a getting started task list as an example for you, and telling the assistant what they need to do initially. And then we've created a checklist called tasks to complete. So say you wanted them to learn this little piece of social media software, you'd likely start them off with a few easy tasks, like creating a simple graphic. And you can add that very simply into the task to complete section. And the great thing here is that they're very clear on what you're asking, and you can pop the tasks in when you choose to. Some people do this quite fluidly as they think of them. Others have very set times where on a Monday they'll set 10 graphics tasks, maybe 10 different social media tasks to create. For example, you may see a fantastic quote like you might say create a Facebook graphic to our brand that uses this quote by John Jameson. As you can see, my spelling is not fantastic, but we'll call him Madison for the sake of this video. But you could send them that and get them to start having a play with that. So that can be a task that they can achieve. Now again, the more information you give in a task, the less likely you're going to need revisions. So be very aware, getting familiar with how you brief your assistant so they understand is a process of learning. There may be times you get something back that's just not correct. Just understand, take a breath, give them feedback. The more times they do it, the more they learn, just like a local staff member. Now, the other reason we like this tool is that you're able to add comments down below that actually talk between you and your assistant on a specific task or training. Now, the benefit of this is that the comments stay here forever, so if they don't ask the same question again if you've answered it. And again, if for whatever reason you get a second virtual assistant or you decide to change your virtual assistant, you have this kind of FAQ of knowledge and facts about something. They can also ask you about specific tasks that you've asked to complete if they need further clarification, and everything is in one place. What we've found over the years with emails, things can go missing, things can get missed, and it can get very busy, where this is a much simpler process. You have a place with all the notifications in Trello that you can look at, and you can have a play to find all of that. Down the bottom here, when you're writing a comment, what you can do is you can mention a VA if you've got more than one, or your current one, to make sure they get notified. You can add emojis, seem to be popular these days, and you can even add files to it, which is really important. So moving things around in comments can be a very valuable tool. So this is what we recommend. If you're going to be starting with a VA, we suggest you consider getting 3 to 5 different to learn modules ready before they start. Now, these don't have to be running your business, but they could be some very key pieces. Could be one around managing your emails. Now, over time, we're creating more and more purchasable cards that will be able to drop into here that will train your VA on certain tools we recommend. As we get asked a lot, how would you use a VA? So these will be coming out in the coming months. But for yourself, just take time to make a few cards, trial it out, test it, and even test it with someone in the business. Would they be able to understand what you've created? That's important. The final thing I'm going to leave you on is a tool called Loom. Now, this video you're watching is created on Loom, and it's a little icon in the top right here that creates a video recorder of your screen, and it takes the voiceover from your microphone over the top of your screen. Now, below this video, you're going to have a button for Use Loom. You can click on that, and you'll be able to get Loom for free and install this little Chrome tool right here, so you're able to use it at a moment's notice. For this tool, Loom has great training on how to get it running for you, and it also has some great examples of how it can be used in other settings. And then all you have to do is copy the URL or the link into your Trello card like we've done here, and it'll automatically pull that video into the card. You don't have to know anything more technical than that. The benefit of this is you start to systemize your business while working with a VA and allowing you to actually scale some of the tasks you shouldn't be doing. So I hope this has made sense and given you a hand. Below this video again, you're going to find that Use Loom button. You'll also find a button to use Trello. So have a click on that, sign up for free. It's very, very simple to create a dashboard like this by adding the different lists and then starting with your first card. If you've got any questions or you need any help, you can contact the team at team@virtualstaff.co.nz. And if you've already started a hire with us, congratulations. If you're considering and thinking about it, make sure you get in touch. We'd love to help you find the perfect VA to help your business.